If you're looking for some super deep sleepers in your 2025 Fantasy Football League, we have got you covered. We're starting out with Keaton Mitchell, who you get around running back 75. Remember 2 years ago when Keaton Mitchell burst onto the scene getting 8 to 10 touches per game for about 6 games? 8.4 yards per carry. He'll never repeat that again, but the point is the explosiveness is real, both as a runner and receiver. Yes, Derrick Henry's a starting running back. Derrick Henry plays a little more than 50% of the snaps. And Justice Hill, I know he's a favorite of Coach John Harbaugh, but John Harbaugh's already talked up Keaton Mitchell. He's fully healthy. Harbaugh remembers the explosiveness Mitchell brought to the team 2 years ago. They want that in their offense. Mitchell is being forgotten about in drafts. I think he immediately gets 5 to 7 or 8 touches a week, which I think makes him flex worthy because remember, he's coming in as the changeup to the most violent, brutal runner we've seen in some time in Derrick Henry. Love some Keaton Mitchell. Next, Darius Slayton of the New York Giants going around wide receiver 85. Did you know that Darius Slayton has 4 seasons with at least 724 receiving yards, despite being in some awful pass offenses with New York? Now, look, Russell Wilson may not be a great player, may not be a very good player, but in this offense, Malik Neighbors is the number one. But Russell Wilson likes to throw those moon balls deep. Darius Slayton is the guy that would be on the receiving end of those, and no defense is selling out to stop Darius Slayton. Now, Darius Slayton may not be a weekly starter for you, but Darius Slayton may be a player that has that spike game potential, and his history has shown he's very capable of that. The team just re-signed him on a free agent deal, so he is an important part of their plans. But yes, as long as Russell Wilson is in, Darius Slayton could repeat another one of those 700-yard seasons, free in drafts. Next, Mason Taylor, New York Jets. You're getting him at tight end 25 cost. Reach up a little bit to get him. Second round draft pick. He is the clear option at tight end for the Jets. But here's the thing. Outside receiver next to Garrett Wilson. Is it Josh Reynolds, Allen Lazard? I'm not interested. They're not good receivers. Mason Taylor may easily be the second pass catcher on this offense. Breece Hall could have something to say about that, but you get the point. And Justin Fields. You may not like him, but Justin Fields in 2023 led Cole Kmet to a career year, 719 yards and 6 touchdowns. Mason Taylor may be walking into a role where there's just going to be free targets, and the defenses are clearly worrying about Garrett Wilson. So there's a nice opportunity to get Mason Taylor late. If you're enjoying the breakdown here, take a second, hit like and subscribe. It helps us keep the fantasy advice coming your way. If you want more RotoWire's tools, rankings, and insights, 15% discount just for our YouTube viewers. You go to rotowire.com, choose your subscription. You use the code YouTube15 at checkout. All right, Dyami Brown going about wide receiver 75. Dyami Brown is now in Jacksonville. He was not good last year until the NFL playoffs. In the NFL playoffs, Brown showed up, averaging 5 catches, 73 yards, and he scored 1 touchdown over the playoff period. Averaged 6 targets, seemed to have things come together at the right time. Now with Liam Cohen coaching in Jacksonville, we've already heard Dyami Brown is looking like a safety net, which, that raises those PPR bells, and we love PPR value. We already know they've got very good receivers. Brian Thomas Jr., superstar on the outside. Travis Hunter, heavily invested in the draft. They traded up to get him. But this team will probably trail in a lot of games. Trevor Lawrence doesn't make the best decisions, and often he checks the ball down. We saw Christian Kirk do really well with Trevor Lawrence. Again, at his draft cost, Dyami Brown is almost free, yet he could be a PPR machine that you may want to have on your fantasy football roster to see if it pans out. Next, Joe Flacco. If you need a second quarterback or you're in a super flex league, you need a third quarterback, don't sleep on Joe Flacco. Different reporters are giving different stories about who's starting in Cleveland. ESPN's Cameron Wolf says Joe Flacco is the favorite to land a starting job. I agree with that. I don't see Kenny Pickett leading an NFL offense. Dylan Gabriel, in my mind, was a project. Shedeur Sanders, 5th-round pick. Already some off-field drama. I would expect Flacco to be the starter. And Flacco started 18 games over the last 3 seasons with the Jets, the Colts, and the Browns. Not exactly world-beater offenses. And yet, in those 18 games, Flacco's averaging 1.67 touchdowns. That's very good. And last year, 8 starts. In 7 of those, at least 16 fantasy points, but most of those games were over 20, which is definitely the area we want to have for a starting quarterback. The weapons in Cleveland in my mind, are fine. David Njoku was actually the tight end one in the last 5 games he played with Flacco in 2023. Cedric Tillman was emerging before a concussion at the end of the season last year. Jerry Jeudy, Joe Flacco may not be a great quarterback, but he is definitely capable of slinging the ball, and he has targets.